cannot even begin to tell you how stressful today has been. So I took loads of pictures for Etsy. I haven't sorted that yet because procrastinating in me is like, it might as well be my middle name. Like, swap out the Jenny for procrastinating. So basically, I took loads of pictures for Etsy. I haven't uploaded to Etsy, but I took them, and that took me most of today. And then I was doing spray painting, and I got everything covered in spray paint, including my finger, as you saw in the last clip, actually. So I spray painted a few pieces because I wanted to see if this style would work, and now I've just made myself more work. And then on top of it, I'm doing this painting for my partner, and I mean, I'm not going to show it because he sometimes watches this, don't you? So basically, I'm doing this, and I tried to mix water into one of my acrylics because it was getting a bit thick, and I spilt water down the front of this. It's fine, it survived, but my heart fell straight through my... And then on top of it, I need to be careful with this. If I damage this, I'm going to cry. And then on top of that, I've been trying to dry the second half of my ducks out, and then I was very concerned that they weren't going to dry, and they're just still in that process. I don't know if I can show, if you'll be able to see. Probably not very well. Basically, they've got like a white outer ring where they've dried, and then the centre's wet still. It's like, please dry. Your friends are varnished and currently sat in the shed. But I think this painting will probably be varnished the same time as the ducks, because that tin of varnish needs using because it's starting to go a bit... It's not going funny, it's one of those where it's getting towards winter season, and varnish doesn't like winter season. So I'm gonna nuke it. But... And then on top of it, I've had my tutor message me like, so which way are we going to try and message? And I was like, I'm sorry to tell you, but when I was doing the podcast, I found out that the links are invalid when you've already used it. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it's like she sent me the link and it was fine, but it was not fine on my end. So we're going to try and call tomorrow, get ready for Mental Breakdown 3. And then I got emailed saying there's an opportunity, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And they're like, if you could just send a recent work or something you made over lockdown, or you could paint something new. And I'm like, oh, when's the deadline? It's like 3 days time. And I'm like, that's great. That's about the same amount of time for my written work. I'm not putting... I feel like I could minimize my job list and it would make my life easy, but instead I like to have long job lists, and I can't quite figure out what mentally is not right with me. And I usually give up with a job list at about 5 o'clock, and I just sit down on my phone trying to go through Instagram to see if anybody will like buy some work. But I haven't uploaded to Etsy, so it's a circle of life. It's getting towards Christmas and I'm getting stressed. I've bought everything. I have no reason to be stressed, but it's because I have a shed full of art that could sell at this Christmas season, and I've made no effort. Well, I've took the pictures, but I just haven't, like, I'm the problem. When my tutor goes for professional practice, what have you done? And I'm just there like, I've been lazy. I have entered some stuff. There's some other stuff I wanted to enter, but I have no idea how to do it because there's problems. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. This is fun. So, I'm gonna shut up now. Another day in the studio. As you can see, got a lot of work to do. Well, that's not really a demonstration, but the sides, let's go like airplane mode. Living my dreams of... I'm kidding. You know what it reminds me of? 1 second, I need a drink. Okay, I've cleared my throat and had a drink now. So, you know what it reminds me of? We're doing that. Reminds me of the car boot when we used to be like, go this way, and you park cars and like flex. Not really. Okay, so what I was saying is here and here, there's all the way around rainbow shape. I gotta finish the boards and the ones on the floor because we don't know how long the studio is going to be open, because they've said that for the main arts tower, which we're not in anymore, is they're closing on the 8th of December, I believe it said, which means I need to get some boards from Wood. Not this week, I need to get this stuff done, because if I can get this done, then I don't need to worry too much if I can't get the extra boards. And then yeah, I'm not wearing rings today because my eczema is extra aggressive and it feels weird and I don't like it and I just hate it. But oh god, anybody else's eczema just get extra aggressive sometimes and you just think, why do I have fingers? And also 40 pence for this rip off. I just fancy chocolate and like I had like 50p, and you know what, back when I was a kid you could buy so much chocolate for 50p, and now even the Freddo was 30p and I was like 40p or Freddo. I was like, actually I'd rather have one of these. You get a whole pack of those for like £1, but I had 50p. Ugh, so annoyed. Okay, so we're gonna get on with the work. I think I was gonna say something else but it's completely gone over my brain as normal. Is it? I've just remembered. Okay, tier systems. Are we not just loving the fact that Leicester is in tier 3 and people are so surprised and shocked by it, even though our numbers are so ridiculously high and people don't care? And on public transport people aren't wearing their masks because they have health problems. You probably shouldn't be on public transport if you have health problems, just saying. I have my mask here. If somebody comes into the studio I just plonk it back on, but once nobody's here I tend not to. But I wipe down all my surfaces before I start, so you know, I'm safe, yo. I've got family to take care of. I've got the cutest hand sanitizer that gets in the bag. But yeah, we're in tier 3 and people are so surprised, and it's like, Leicester was stuck in tier 2 for such a long time, and we were threatened with tier 3 when we were in tier 2, so it's not surprising at all. And the fact now that people are joining us in these tier 3 situations, how's it feel? How's it feel to be restricted? We've been in this boat for a long time. We're like the Titanic, but we haven't quite sunk yet. Our people are strong. Anyway, wall painting. Got the tape all up. Decided to put all the tape up first. I was gonna put sections and then put the tape on, but I think it makes more sense to get the tape lined up, and then I can just paint it and do section by section. Hopefully this turns out good. We take a minute to appreciate the amount of pain and effort it takes to put. I'm short, so I can't reach the top, so I'm up here like reaching to the top, and it's making my arm ache. I can't wait to get this top edge done. Once that's, excuse me, I've just eaten, so I'm a bit like, oh, did it again. Yeah, I've got like a few sections to clean up. You saw this wall getting peeled. Still got sections to clean up, and then she should be about where I would like her, ready for the crit. Except for I haven't done the painting to sit in the middle. Ugh. So yeah. Also, the second wall peeling is on my TikTok. I probably put some lame like talk over on it to be like, motivation. I don't know. My hair's a mess. Sod it. Who cares? Yeah, so I'm gonna do this top section now. Go to the hyper. wish I could say it was completed, but it is not. Because, unfortunately, there are a lot of paint mark errors, if that makes sense. And that triangle, just one second, there, is supposed to be black. Somebody made an error. Yeah, so there's a lot of fixing up to do next week. I would do it today, but my arms ache. It's like a full body workout trying to paint this wall. Plus, it took me a lot of time because you got to wait for each section to dry, and then you got to paint it white, and then you got to paint it thick white, and then you got to peel it, and it's just. And then I have corrected some of the sections, but yeah, I also need some moisturizer. My skin is feeling rough, but that's how it's looking. I definitely feel like the floor needs to be done, and there needs to be a board or something here, because it just looks so weird. I'm trying not to block that fan, so I just need like a little board, which you could say maybe that one, but it sticks out too much this way, so I've got to measure that hole and then see if I can get boards for the floor or not. Just down here on the floor, as you do, taking photos, because apparently as part of our practice we need to show how big the work is, and it's sometimes good to have you in with the work. I mean, there should be like glam shots of me working or something, but I don't want to prove to my family that I actually do stuff. So yeah, I'm just sat down here. I mean, it looks impressive from here. Shame it doesn't up close. Ah! Oh my god, also, I put my hand in my hair midway through, so I've got some beautiful white streaks. Right, I'm going home. Do you ever feel like you have so much going on and not enough time? That's me, and I also need to edit this video and get it out because I have a lot more stuff going on. So, quick update so I can finish this video. Me and Charlie filmed the podcast. If you haven't checked out last week's podcast, it is available. The link will be below. This week's podcast is about cosmetics. I couldn't remember. And this is how the ducks came out. They have a beautiful gloss coat. And I need to finish the bottom so that they're completely sealed. But I'm really happy with it. I currently have a canvas that's being varnished. And then I need to put more ducks out to varnish. And it will be all good. Also, in other news, I have several works on show. My works on show at Love Art Exhibition, that's in the link below, and my show, humble, not happened yet. I also have work on show at Art of the Chapel. Fun fact, I almost destroyed the painting that was entered. I hadn't registered that I'd entered it into an exhibition months and months ago, forgotten about it. Turns out it's actually in it now. I was a day away from spray painting it, so we've left it alone now. It's okay. Didn't do that. And then I've recently entered some bits, and I'm super excited. I'm hoping that they come out well. One of them I hadn't quite entered stuff correctly, and they emailed me saying that they were excited to see my work. So I don't know what that means, but I've had that said before and then nothing came of it, so it's either going to be something or nothing, but they emailed me to get the correct documents because I messed up. But I really would like this opportunity because it's one of those where it's such a big opportunity, and I'm like, please. I mean, I feel like I've already been a little bit greedy. I've had so many opportunities this year, and the online arts has been absolutely fantastic, but it's been so stressful because you have to do a whole lot more running around, and trying to do an MA and sort your actual professional side instead of doing the research about it for the MA and being like, yes, this is what I could do. I am currently doing my professional whilst trying to write about the professional, but they can't be the same. There's a whole lot of work, so I'm very stressed. Lucky thing though, I don't have Christmas to worry about because I've sorted it, and some people are getting my ducks that I spent hours and hours on. I mean, I imagine people will get these and be like, didn't spend that long on it. You do not understand. I may have joked about, wanting to make one because the woman's work was so expensive, and I was like, well, I could make that easy. It's probably taken me the same amount of time and effort as the reason she put the cost, if that makes sense. I think her cost is very right, because I too would probably charge 40 quid for this duck because it's taken me hours. And I'd do it again. I had a lot of fun, but it was very distracting. I wouldn't recommend it when you have like 200-300 statements, 1,000-word statement, and other stuff to write. That was a bad idea to do that whilst doing the ducks, just saying. But yeah, fun. What else? My work in my space is now ready. I have a few ideas of what I want to do. I'm changing ideas, which is bad because my crit's next week, and I'm not ready. Oh well, we live and we learn. I'll see how I survive. See you next week.